Kana Hobnabi relatives, Membiwa Tehushka Opemiha. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see on the screen, the name of the channel is Opemiha Sioux Nation. When you come to the channel, please like the videos. Also subscribe since you're watching the videos. And as always, relatives, much appreciation to you all. All right, so on this video, I wanted to kind of finish up another county, the Register of Free Negroes. This time we're going to be doing Amelia County, and looks like the time frame on that is going to be 1804 to 1835. And this is from the Virginia microfilm, the Library Virginia microfilm number 84. And looks like it's abstracted by Michael Nichols, Department of History, Utah State University. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into this and knock out another county. So the first person we have is, it looks like Lucy, a dark mulatto woman, 5'4.5", about 20 years old it looks like, emancipated by John Brunskill by deed May 23rd. And then it shows the certificate information and all that. Next, we got Nat Thompson, a black Negro man about 50 years old. He's 5'10 and a half, tolerably well built, emancipated by John Finney. Next, we have a Sucky Scott, a bright mulatto woman about 5'8", says no age, emancipated by Jazz Scott by deed. Next, we have James Scott. Looks like a dark mulatto man, about 5'3", and about 55 years, emancipated by John Archer and Joshua Chafin. It says executive of John Booker, deceased, agreeable to will of 1796, certificate number. Okay. Let's see. Next, we got Thomas Samuel, a light black man about 5'2", about 73 years old, emancipated by Everett Booker. All right, relatives. So next we have Thomas Samuel, a light black man about 5'2", and about 73 years old, emancipated by Everett Booker. Next, we have Rachel, a mulatto woman about 5'1", about 55 years old, emancipated by Blackburn Hughes. All right. And then a little bit of other information on here. It says for Hughes, emancipated of Rachel and her two children, John Samuel and looks like Joseph Samuel. Okay. Next, we got Elsie, a tolerably light-colored Negro woman, about 25, no height, emancipated by John Bassett by deed, agreeable to will of George Ragsdale. Okay. Next, we got Kate, a dark mulatto woman, about 5'2", about 40, emancipated by John Brunskill. Next, we got Betty, a dark woman, supposed about 36, about 5 feet, emancipated by John Brunskill. Next, we got Mingo, a dark-colored man, about 37, 5'8", emancipated by John Brunskill. Let's see. We got, looks like Elsie again, a dark mulatto woman, about 5'9", about 34 years, emancipated by John Brunskill. Next, we got Robert Lovelace, a bright mulatto man, about 5'3 and a half, about 33 years, emancipated by Angus Jones by will. Next, we have a Henry Pierce, a brown mulatto man, about 5'5", about 26 years of age, freeborn from certificate of George Gordon. All right. Next, we have Miles, a black man, 22 years old, about 6'1", emancipated by, looks like John Finney. Next, we have Anne, a dark mulatto woman, about blank feet, blank inches, about 35, emancipated by Joss Osborne. Next, we have a Bob Capel or Chapel, a black Negro man, about 5'2", about 5'6", or excuse me, about 56 or 57 years, emancipated by Abner Chapel by deed. All right. Next, we got Hannah Joanna Hill, a light-colored Negro woman, about 5 feet, about 35 or 36, emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Next, we have Caesar, a black man, about 5'10", supposed 55 years, emancipated by William Jones by deed. And next, we got John Cousins, a black man, about 24 years, 6 feet high, certificate. Next, we got Polly, a woman of brown complexion, about 5'6", supposed 22 years old, emancipated by John Brunskill. Next, we have Fanny, a dark woman, about 5'4", supposed about 20 years old, emancipated by John Brunskill by deed. We got Bob Jenkins, a tolerably light-colored Negro man, about 52, bushy head, 5'8", emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Next, we got Billy Jenkins, a tolerably light-colored Negro man, about 24, and about 5'10", emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Patsy Jenkins, a light-colored girl, about 15 or 16, born free, about 5'4". Next, we got Frank Gowen, a black Negro man, about 5'9" and a half, about 25 years old, emancipated by Richard M. Jones by deed. Next, we have a woman named Sarah, a dark Negro woman, about 4'6", high, 22 years old, emancipated by John Vassar by deed. We got Peter Wilson, light-colored Negro man, about 27 or 30 years, blank high, emancipated by Roland Ward. All right. Next, we got Rachel Hunt, a light-colored Negro woman, about 21 or 22, about blank high, emancipated by Roland Ward. Next, we got Isham, a dark-colored Negro man, about 21 years, about 5'9" or 10, emancipated by Roland Ward. Next, we got Beck, a black Negro woman, about 5'2", about 37 years of age, emancipated by Richard Vassar. Next, we got Tom, a black man, about 5'11", about 22 years of age, emancipated by Ben Crawley. Next, we have Paul, a dark mulatto woman, about 5'5" and a half, appears to be 27, emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Next, we got Jerry, a Negro man, about 21 or 22, about 5'8" or 9, emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Next, we got John, a dark Negro man, aged about 21 or 2, about 5'6" or 7, emancipated by Richard Vassar by deed. Next, we got Fanny, a dark woman, about blank high, supposed about 20, emancipated by John Brunskill by deed. Next, we got Braddock Hughes, a black man, about 5'11", supposed about 21, emancipated by Mary Ann Hughes by will. We got Caesar, black man, 5'9", about 42 years of age, emancipated by Francis Pride by deed. We got James, a black man, about 5'6" and a half, about 45, emancipated by Francis Pride by deed. Let's see. Next, we got Nancy Flood, a brown woman, 5'5", tall, about 26, born free in Mecklenburg, per affidavit of Thomas Drumwright, made this day before William Prentice recorded of this town. Next, we got Gerald, a black man, about 33 years old, 5'10" or 11, emancipated by Mary Jeter by deed. James, a mulatto man about 5'11", upwards of 50 years of age, emancipated by John Towns. Eleanor, a light mulatto woman about 27, about 4'8" or 9, with dark straight hair, emancipated by will of Judith Eggleston, dated April 29th. And let's see here. Okay. It says a blank page with no numbers in a book when Eggleston freed Eleanor in preceding instance. He also freed, as per the will of her two children named Nelson and Maria. Nelson was numbered 43, age 11 months old, according to the copy of his register entered in Ross County, Ohio. So these people ended up in Ohio. It says see Joan Turnip, register of black mulatto and poor persons in 4 Ohio counties, 1791-1861. It says Maria, who would have been older, was probably number 42 and presumably died, since Eleanor and her husband Nelson had another daughter named Maria, born circa 1815. The family left for Ohio in 1817 after Nelson purchased and then freed in 1816 by Eleanor, was denied permission to remain in Virginia. Okay. Next we got Gabriel, a black man about 21 or 2 years of age, about 5'6", emancipated by John Finney by deed. We got John, a black man about 21, about 5'9", emancipated by John Finney by deed. We got Phil, a black man about 30 years of age, no height entered, emancipated by will of John Morgan Sr. Next we have Anika, a black Negro woman about 5'2", between 43 and 44 years of age, emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Next we have Ailes, a dark mulatto woman about 23, about 5'6" and a half, emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Next we have Sarah, a small dark woman about 4'10", upwards of 25 years, emancipated by John Ellison by deed. And let's see if there's any other information. Okay, we'll keep it moving. It says the number 49, it says this closed out Patram, about 70 years of age, emancipated by Abner Chappelle by deed. And it says this also crossed out Patram, a dark colored man, about 70 years, emancipated by Abner Chappell or Chappelle by deed. All right. Next we have Mark, a black man about 60 years of age, pitted with smallpox, about 6 feet high, emancipated by Francis Pride by deed, April 24th. Nancy, a black woman about 4'7" or 8", about 20 years of age, emancipated by Richard Vassar by deed. Then we got Pat, a black woman about 5'3" or 4", about 22 years old, emancipated by Richard Vassar. Then we got John, a black man about 40 years of age, 5'6", emancipated by will of Mary Ann Hughes. Next we have Lewis, about 61 or 62, about 5'5" or 6", yellow complexion, emancipated by William Bott by deed. Next we have Giddy, about 24 and 5'7" and a half, long woolly hair, whites of her eyes inclined to be yellow, emancipated by Ben Crawley. We got Hannah, alias Hannah Freeman, aged about 22 and 5'2", emancipated by Ben Crawley. Let's see, we got Amy, alias Amy Johnson, aged about 24, 5'2" and a half, emancipated by Ben Crawley. Sylvia, aged about 54, about 5'2" and a half, emancipated by John Finney. Next we have Chloe, aged about 50, about 4'11", emancipated by John Finney by deed. Next we have Judy, alias Judy Finney, child of Money, who was emancipated by John Finney, born after D. Then we got Betty, alias Betty Finney, child of Money, who was emancipated by John Finney, which said Betty was born after the date of the deed of her mother's emancipation, to wit, this is a black woman, about 5'4", about 23, certificate, January 1810. Okay. We got Patram, alias Patram Johnson, a dark-colored man between 70 and 80 years of age, about 5'5", emancipated by Abner and Chappelle, by D. Let's see, we got Rachel Johnson, a mulatto woman, about 70, about 5'4", emancipated by Patram Johnson, by deed, October 24th, 1805. Okay. Next, we got Judy, upwards of 21 years, dark color, about 5'4". Her mother's name was Hannah and was emancipated by Ben Crawley at the age of 25 by D. Fanny, upwards of 21, light colored, about 5'3" and a half. Her mother's name was Hannah and was emancipated by Ben Crawley at the age of 25 by D. Next, we have Patience, alias Patience Gawing, a Negro woman aged about 30, about 5'3" and a half, emancipated by Act of General Assembly passed January 16, 1810. Let's see here. It says, see Amelia, legislative petitions, December 16, 1809. Hold and others on behalf of Patience, the wife of Philemon, Elizabeth, and Henry, the children of a free black man named Frank, late of Amelia County. Frank Gowen had purchased his wife and children, but died without freeing them, because if he did, they would be subject to the laws of 1806. Okay. Next, we got Lawson, alias Lawson Henderson, aged about 38, about 5'1", rather a bright complexion, emancipated by Ben Crawley by deed. Next, we have Nan, aged about 29 or 30, about 5'2", very black, emancipated by will of John Morgan. Phyllis, about 4'11", about 40 years, about 40, dark complexion, emancipated by Ben Crawley. Next, we got Jimmy Hill, a black man, aged about 55, about 5'5" and a half, emancipated by Ben Crawley. Next, we have Frankie, a very black Negro girl, about 18 or 19, about 5'1", born free, per note of Ellery Horizon. Next is Esther, a bright mulatto woman, about 34 or 35 years old, 5'4" and a half, emancipated by William Bott in 1782. We got Stephen, a black man, about 58 years of age, 5'6", emancipated by Cain Mann. Excuse me. Next, we got Moni, a dark mulatto woman, about 5'1", about 5'6" or 7", emancipated by John Finney. We got Sally Adu of Moni. Sally Adu of Moni, about 5'4", who was emancipated by John Finney. Sarah, alias Sarah Lewis, about 5'1", about 31 years of age, of a dark complexion, emancipated by John Allison. Nancy, sometimes called Nancy Jackson, aged about 24, about 5'2", born free, per certificates of Sam Ford, Eliza Bowman, and Obedience Ham. We got Cressa, a mulatto Negro woman, about 30, about 5'3" and a half, born free, as per her indenture of apprenticeship. Next, we have Charlotte, a free woman, about 36 years of age, about 5 and a half. Obtained her freedom by suit against Pleasant Honeycutt in Court of Appeals. We got Lucy, sometimes called Lucy Williams, about blank height, about 50 years old, emancipated by Joshua Atkinson's by deed. Louis Jackson, a black man, about 21, about 5'10", born free. Sam, a black man, about 38, 5'10", emancipated by Cain Mann by deed. got Joycey, a Negro woman of light complexion, about 35, about 5'3", emancipated by will and Hughes. Let's see. Okay. Next we got Cincy, a Negro woman of a light complexion, about 21 years, about 5'5", emancipated under the will of Van Hughes. John Richardson, a black man, about 32, about 5'7", born free per certificate. We got Adam Hughes, a black man, about 28, about 5'7", emancipated by will of Van Hughes. Tinsley Hughes, a Negro man of a light complexion, about 27, about 6 feet high, emancipated by will Van Hughes. Marshall Hughes, a Negro man of light complexion, about 23, about 5'9", emancipated by will Van Hughes. Stanley Hughes, a black man, about 26, about 5'11", emancipated by will Van Hughes. Sam Hughes, a Negro man of light complexion, about 40, about 5'7", emancipated by will Van Hughes. Tom Hughes, a black man, about 35, about 5'10", emancipated by will Van Hughes. Joseph Hughes, a Negro man of light complexion, about 5'9.5", about 23, emancipated by will Van Hughes. John Hughes, a black man, about 5'8", about 23 years old, emancipated by will Van Hughes. Billy Hughes, a black man, about 5'4", 24 years of age, emancipated by will Van Hughes. Then we got Sam Hughes, a Negro man of light complexion, about 70 years of age, 5 feet, emancipated by will Van Hughes. All right, relatives. So next we got Jane Cornwall, a mulatto woman, about 19, about 5'5", born free per certificate of Captain Austin Say. We got Branch, sometimes called Branch Hughes, a black boy, about 5 feet, about 15 years old, emancipated by will Van Hughes. Next we got Herod, sometimes called Herod Woodson Hughes, a mulatto boy, about 4'10", about 14 years of age, emancipated by will Van Hughes. Next we got Dick, sometimes called Dick Hughes, a Negro boy of light complexion, about 13 years, about 4'6", emancipated by will Van Hughes. Next we got Nancy Hughes, a mulatto girl, about 4'3", about 10 years of age, emancipated by will Van Hughes. Next we got Martha Ann Hughes, a Negro girl of light complexion, about 3'7", about 8 years old, born free by certificate of Dr. William H. Eagleston. Next we got Jamie, alias Jamie Hughes, a Negro boy of light complexion, about 3 feet high, about 3 years old, born free by certificate of Dr. William H. Eagleston. Haskins, also Haskin, or alias Haskin Hughes, a small Negro boy of light complexion, about 18 months old, about 2'6", high, born free per certificate of William H. Herring, Eggleston. Next we got Judith, alias Judith Hughes, a Negro woman, about 48, about 5'3", emancipated by will Van Hughes. Next we got Nelson, a mulatto man, about 5'6", age about 34, emancipated by Nellie, a free Negro by deed. Next we got John, a black man, about 5'6", high, about 21 years, born free per certificate of John L. Booker, Samuel Burton A. Tucker, John Credington, and John Dodd. Next we got Henderson, a Negro man of light complexion, about 5'4", about 20 years of age, emancipated by will of Van Hughes. Polly Hughes, a Negro girl of a light complexion, age about 15, about 5'2", emancipated by will of Van Hughes. Next we got Armistead Hughes, a Negro boy of light complexion, about 4'6", about 13 years, emancipated by will of Van Hughes. Next we got Jack Hughes, a Negro boy of light complexion, about 4'5", about 11 years, emancipated by will of Van Hughes. Next we got Tom Hughes, a Negro boy of light complexion, about 3'8", about 8 years old, born free per certificate of Captain Austin Say. And I think we read them. So it looks like it's starting to repeat a little bit here. Next, John Williams, a Negro man of light complexion, about 20 years, about 5'6", born free per certificate of Captain Austin Say. Moses Hill, about 21 years of age, born free. About 21 years of age, born of a free mother who was emancipated by Ben Crawley. Next, we got William Piles, a mulatto boy, about 3 years old, about 2'8", born free. Certificate of Chas Eggleston. Judy Piles, a mulatto girl, about 10 years of age, 4'4", born free per certificate of Chas Eggleston. Robert Piles, a mulatto boy, about 4 years of age, 3'7", born free per certificate of Chas Eggleston. Maria Piles, a small mulatto girl, about 2 years of age, 2'5", hair of a yellowish color, born free per certificate of Chas Eggleston. Eliza, called Eliza Hill, child of Fannie Hill, a free woman of color, about 12 months of age. We got Delcy, commonly called Delcy Edwards, a Negro woman about 35 or 6, about blank high, born free per certificate of Elizabeth Brizadine. Next we got Ussie, a free Negro woman of a dark brown color, born free, certificate 1818. We got Edie, sometimes called Edie Hughes, a dark colored Negro woman, about 46, emancipated by Mary Ann Hughes. Nancy, sometimes called Nancy Hughes, dark colored Negro woman, height 5'4.5", about 30 years, emancipated by Mary Ann Hughes. Judith, sometimes called Judy Hughes, age about 36, about 5'6", color black, emancipated by Mary Ann Hughes. Next we got Nancy, sometimes called Nancy Coverly, a free black girl, aged about 18, about 5'2", emancipated by Foss Coverly by deed. Tom, an old Negro man about 70 years of age, 5 feet, dark colored, gray haired, emancipated by William Burton. Let's see, next we got Betsy Hilton, a free woman born free, daughter of Hannah, no height given, about 22, color brown. We got Nancy, an old Negro woman about 57, about 5 feet, color dark, emancipated by William Burton. Dicey, a Negro woman about 33 years, color rather light, about 5'3", emancipated by William Burton. James, a Negro man about 22, color rather light, about 5'6", emancipated by William Burton. Next we have Isaac, a Negro man about 28, about 5'5", color light, emancipated by William Burton. Next we got Abraham, a Negro man about 19, about 5'4", emancipated by William Burton. Mariah, a Negro girl about 13 years, about 5 feet, brown color, emancipated by William Burton. Susan, a Negro girl about 10 years, about 4 or 5, color brown, emancipated by William Burton. Ben, a Negro boy about 7 years, about 4 feet, color brown, emancipated by William Burton. Martha, a Negro girl about 2 years, about 2'8", color brown, emancipated by William Burton. Herod, a Negro man about 5'8.5", about 34 years, color light, emancipated by William Burton. Nancy, a mulatto girl about 15, about 5 feet, born free, daughter of Elsie. Harriet, a light-colored Negro girl, about 7 years, about 3'9", born free. Polly, a light-colored Negro girl, about 6 years, about 3'6", born free. Betsy, called Betsy Morton, a light-colored Negro girl, about 3 years. She's 3'1", freeborn. John Henderson, a Negro man about 5.5 feet, about 32 years, emancipated by Ben Crawley. Sam Hill, a man of color of a brown complexion, 5'8", about 21 years, born free, son of Hannah, who was emancipated by Ben Crawley. Hannah, a girl of color of a light complexion, 5'4", about 18 years, born free. We got Karina Richardson, a free woman of color, dark mulatto complexion, aged about 25 years, 5'1", was registered in Prince Edward's Court, November 18th, 1816. So we got Grief, sometimes called Grief Rison, a free man of color of a light complexion, about 21 years, 5'11", born free. Archer, sometimes called Archer Hill, a free man of color of a dark complexion, about 20 years, 5'5", born free. Sally, sometimes called Sally Hill, a free girl of color, a free girl of a color of a light complexion, 5'1", age 16 years, born free. Davy, sometimes called Davy Smith, a man of color of a dark complexion, 5'10", about 21 years, born free, son of Morning, who was emancipated by John Finney. Betsy Ligon, a very likely black girl, about 5'7", about 21, freeborn, of Elsie Ligon. Giddy, a black man about 5'6" and a half, 35 years, emancipated by Ben Crawley. Lucy, called Lucy Finney, a brown woman about 19, about 4'11", born free. Tom Hilton, a free man of color of a light complexion, 5'4", about 21 years, born free. Elijah, free man of color of a dark complexion, about 21 years, 5'8", born free, son of Rebecca. Tom Bowman, a free man of color of a light complexion, about 21 years, 5'6", born free, son of Lucy Bowman. Next we got Elsie, sometimes called Elsie Friend, a free girl of color of a brown complexion, aged about 18 years, 5'3", freeborn. Nancy Friend, a dark brown colored woman, about 5'2" and a half, about 30 years, of Beck, who together with her increase were emancipated by Richard Vassar. Alcy, sometimes called Alcy Ligon, a free woman of color of a dark complexion, about 41 years, 5'2", emancipated by John Vassar. Harry Pierce, a brown man about 40 years, about 5'5", served apprenticeship with George Gordon of Farquhar County. We got Joe, otherwise called Joe Williams, 21 years, 5'6", of a light complexion, born free, son of James Williams. Edie Jackson, a Negro woman of a light complexion, aged about 56 years, 5 feet, born free, per certificate of obedience hand. William Hilton, a free man of color of a dark complexion, 5'3", aged 60 years, set free by Matthew Hilton. William Hilton, free man of a light color, about 21 years, 5'3", freeborn, served his time with Billy Hilton. Karina Richardson, a free woman of color, dark mulatto complexion, aged about 28 years, 5'1". We got Esther, a Negro woman of a light complexion, about 22 years, 5'1", emancipated by Foss Carverly and Martha C. by D. Next we have Dick Ham, a free man of color of a light complexion, about 38 years, 5'7", emancipated by William Ham. Sarah Ham, a free woman of color of a dark complexion, aged about 28 years, 5'3", emancipated by Will. Betsy Ham, a free girl of color, a bright mulatto, aged about 15 years, 5'2". Says of Judy, who was emancipated by William Ham. Sam Ham, a free boy of color, a bright mulatto, aged about 14 years, 5 feet, son of Sarah, who was emancipated by William Ham. Jane Ham, a free girl of color, of a light complexion, about 12 years, 4'10", of Sarah, who was emancipated by William Ham. Annie Ham, a free girl of color complexion, about 9 years, 4'5" and a half, of Sarah, who was emancipated by William Ham. Nancy Williams, a free woman of color, a bright mulatto, about 21 years, 5'3", born free, of Lucy Williams, birth certificate. Wilson Williams, a free man of color of a light complexion, about 19 years, 5'10", born free, son of Lucy Williams. Rachel Williams, A free girl of color, a bright mulatto, about 18 years, 5'2", born free, of Lacey Williams. Jordan Williams, a free boy of color, of a light complexion, about 16 years, 4'9", born free, son of Lucy Williams. Betsy Williams, a free girl of color, of a light complexion, about 12 years, 4'2", born free. We got Tom, sometimes called Tom Cousins, a free man of color, of a dark complexion, about 21 years, 5'10", son of Abby Cousins. We got Elvie, sometimes called Elvie Jackson, a free girl of color, a mulatto, about 18 years, 5'3". We got Edith Ann Hughes, a free girl of color, a mulatto, about 18 years, 5'4", born free. We got John, a black man, about 5'7", about 21 years, emancipated by Foss Coverley. We got Archer, sometimes called Archer Hill, a free man of color, dark complexion, about 24 years, 5'5", born free. We got Mahaley M. Hill, wife of Archer Hill, and daughter of Sally Lewis, is a black woman, 4'11", about 23 years, born free. Betsy Hilton, a free woman of color, born free, daughter of Hannah, 5'1", about 22 years, brown color. Sam, sometimes called Sam Hill, a Negro man, about 26 years, 5'8", born free, son of Hannah, who was emancipated by Ben Crawley. Betty Jones, a free woman of color, of a dark complexion, of 60 years, 5'2", emancipated by Tom Jones, a free man of color, by deed. We got Suki Jones, a free woman of mulatto complexion, about 38 years, 5'1", emancipated by Tom Jones, a free man of color, by deed. Marianne Jones, a free woman of color, dark complexion, about 22 years, 5'4.5", emancipated by Tom Jones, a free man of color. Sally, sometimes called Sally Hill, a free girl of color, of a light complexion, 5'1", about 19 years, born free, daughter of Hannah. Philip Brunskill. Now, we saw his name earlier, I'm pretty sure. Philip Brunskill, a black man of a light complexion, about 21 years, 5'8", son of Harry Brunskill. Okay. So, just a quick observation. I'm thinking some of these people with the same last names could be family members who are free, that are, getting their kids or their other family members these certificates as well. Rachel Casales, free woman of color, of light complexion, about 33 or 34 years, 5'5", emancipated by will of William Casales. Let's read this real quick. Admitted to record November of 1823, certificate 27, March 1824 copied. And then it says, in his will, Casales freed Rachel and her 7 children, and the increase of the females, and after deductions for debts, proceeds from estate sale to be divided among them. Will was undated. His inventory listed 37 other slaves, no other heir mentioned except a friend and executive, Benjamin Meade of Powhatan, who gets a mill which Casales had purchased from and probably hadn't completely paid for. Okay, so that's some interesting information there. So we got Fanny Casales, a free girl of color, very light complexion, 18 years, 5'5", emancipated by will. William Casales, a free boy of color, very light complexion, age 16 years, 5'8", emancipated by will. Patty Casales, a free girl of color, very light complexion, about 14 years, 5'5", 1/4", emancipated by will. Sally Casales, a free girl of color, very light complexion, aged about 12 or 13 years, 4'9.5", emancipated by will. John Eldridge Casales, a free boy of color, very light complexion, 4'3.5", about 11 years. James Casale, a free boy of color, very light complexion, nearly white, 4'2", about 9 years, emancipated by will of William Casales. Rebecca Casales, a free girl of color, of a light complexion, about 7 years, 3'8", and and a half, emancipated by William Cassels. All right. See, next week, Polly Hughes, a free girl of color, complexion 5'4", about 18, born free. Susan Ligon, a very light, dark girl, about 5 feet, about 18, born free. Lucy Jackson, a free woman of color, a mulatto complexion, 5'3" and a half, about 22, born free. Martha Maxwell, formerly Martha Anderson, daughter of Mary, a free woman of color, a bright mulatto woman, about 21 years, 5'3" and a half. Amelia Jackson, daughter of Cretia Jackson, a free woman of color, 5'3" and a half, bright complexion, about 19 years of age. Next, we got Peter Gray, a free man of color, of light complexion, spare made, about 6.5 feet tall, about 26 years, a tanner by trade, was born free, son of Sylvie Gray, out of Logan's estate of Powhatan, as per statement of Dr. Stockwell. And let's see, it just talks about the certificate. Okay. Nancy Hilton, a free woman of color, a mulatto, about 21 years, 5 feet, born free. Lucy, a woman of color, of dark complexion, about 5'4", about 35 years, emancipated by Ben Crawley. Labo Harris, a free man of color, very light complexion, about 5'2" and 24 years, emancipated by Benjamin Harris. And next we have Claiborne Anderson, a free man of color of a very light complexion, about 5'11", 24 years, born free, son of Mary Anderson. Shadrach Finney, son of Morning, of a brown complexion, about 5'11", and 21 years, born free. Richard, a free man of color, of brown complexion, son of Moni, about 21 years, 5'9". See, next we have Polly Jackson, a free woman of color, of a light complexion, upwards of 18 years, about 5'5", born free. Pleasant Hill, a free man of color, of a light complexion, about 5'8", about 21 years, son of Lucy Hill, a free woman. We got Esther, a Negro woman of a light complexion, about 27 years, about 5'1", emancipated by Voss and Martha Coverly. We got Sarah Hudson, a free woman of color, of a brown complexion, 4'10", about 22 years, emancipated by will of Thomas Coverly. Elizabeth Hudson, a free woman of color, brown complexion, 5'3" and a half, about 21, emancipated by will of Thomas Coverly. Albert Augustus, a free child of color, a mulatto, about 2 years of age, about 2'6", emancipated by Elizabeth Hudson by deed. We got Pascal Brunskill, a free man of color, of a light complexion, about 5'6" and a half, about 23, son of Lawson Brunskill, a free woman of color. Davy Brunskill, a free man of color, of dark complexion, about 5'9", about 22, son of Lawson Brunskill, a free woman of color. Lucy, called Lucy Finney, a brown woman, about 27 years, about 5 and a half, born free, daughter of Moni. William Ligon, son of Elsie Ligon, a free man of color, per certificate. John Hughes, a black man, about 60 years, 5'6", emancipated by will of Mary Ann Hughes. Sucky, otherwise called Sucky Webster, a free woman of color, about 21, of dark complexion, about 5'1", born free. Next we got Phil Bowling, sometimes called Phil Pendleton, a free man of color, of bright complexion, about 26, about 5'10", born free. Let's see, William Green, a mulatto man, about 28 years, 6 feet, born free, son of Jency Pendleton. Mary Ann Henderson, a free woman of color, of a dark complexion, about 25, about 5'1", born free. We got Henry DeSager, a free man of color, of a bright complexion, thought not a mulatto, about 5'10" and a half, about 23, born free. Nancy Henderson, a free woman of color, about 40 years, about 5'1" and a half, born free. John Richardson, a free man of color of a dark complexion, aged about 47, about 5'7", certificate October 1831. Prudence Ann Johnson, a free girl of color of a brown complexion, about 22 years, 5'4", daughter of Ann, a free woman of color. Nancy Johnson, a free woman of color of brown complexion, about 25 years, 5'5", born free. William, a free man of color of a dark complexion, about 5'2", about 21 years, born free. Tom Hill, a free man of color of a dark complexion, about 5'5", about 26, born free. We got Edwin Harrison, free man of color of a bright mulatto complexion, age 28, about 5'8", emancipated by Nathaniel Harrison. We got German Booker, a mulatto man, age 21, about 5'9", a blacksmith by trade, born free. Martin Manderson, a free man of color, very bright mulatto, 5'7.5", about 26 years, emancipated by will of Peter Farley. James Manderson, a free man of color, very bright complexion, 5'10", about 21, emancipated by will of Peter Farley. Francis Archer, a free man of color of a very bright complexion, about 5'9.5", about 19, emancipated by will of Peter Farley. Betty Farley, aged about 55, a mulatto woman, about 5'6", emancipated by will of Peter Farley. Nancy Manderson, aged about 27, a very bright mulatto woman, 5'8", emancipated by Peter Farley. John Manderson, a mulatto man, about 28 years, about 5'11.5", emancipated by will of Peter Farley. Lucy C. Mandison, a mulatto woman, about 23, about 5'6", emancipated by will of Peter Farley. Frances Anderson, a mulatto woman of a bright complexion, 22 years, 5'6", born free, daughter of Mary Anderson. Joe Jackson, a free man of color, about 21, born free, son of Nancy Jackson, about 5'10", a dark mulatto. William Chocolate, a free man of color, bright complexion, about 24 years, about 4'8", born free, son of Dicey Chocolate. Nancy Anderson, a mulatto woman, about 5'4.5", about 25, born free, daughter of Mary Anderson. Keziah Jackson, a black woman, about 35 years, 5'2", born free. Pamela Hill, a free woman of color, brown complexion, about 20 years, 5.5, born free. Albert Brunskill, a free man of color of a dark complexion, about 22 years, 5'5.5", born free, son of Lawson Brunskill. Nancy Hill, a free woman of yellow complexion, about 21 years, 5'3", born free. Martha Hill, a woman of complexion, about 19 years, 5'4", born free. Elizabeth Anderson, a free woman of color of a bright complexion, about 17, 5'5.5", born free. Henry Brunskill, a free man of color of a dark complexion, 5'4", about 22, born free, son of Lawson Brunskill. Lucinda Chocolate, a free girl, about 26 years, 5'3", mulatto, born free, daughter of Dicey Chocolate. Armstead Broadway, a free man of color, very bright complexion, about 24 years, 5'9", born free. Henry Perkins, alias Hill, a bright mulatto, about 21 years, 5'6", born free, son of Judy Perkins. George Perkinson, a mulatto man, very bright complexion, about 24 years, 5'10 1/4", born free, son of Judy Perkins. Simon Hilton, a free man of color, about 22 years, 5'8", brown complexion, born free, son of Patty Hilton. Lydia Ann Crawley, a free woman of color, very dark complexion, about 26 years, 5 feet, born free, daughter of Ussie Henderson, a free woman of color. Willie Ann Robinson, a free woman of color, very dark complexion, about 22, about 4'9", daughter of Ussie Henderson, a free woman. And last but not least, Eliza Hill, a free woman of color, dark mulatto, about 19 years, 5'2.5", born free daughter of Fannie Hill, a free woman. All right, relatives. So this was, I believe, the Amelia County Register of Free. Let me see. Let me get to the top here. I believe it was Free Negroes. Yes. So the Amelia County of Free Negroes. So when we go live next time, since we just did Amelia County, we'll probably do Bedford County next. Again, all these counties are in Virginia. If anyone's curious, I will leave the link for this in the description of the video. But that's all I have for today, relatives. Appreciate everyone coming out to watch the video, and one love to you all. Peace.